Hello, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of these little videos as I help you to get through these strange days in which we find ourselves, and these are strange days indeed. Now, you may have noticed that I always say, in which we find ourselves, and you may think that's just a different way of saying the times in which we live, but really it's not what I'm saying. Most of the time when I say something, I say it on purpose, in which we find ourselves, because in strange days, you find yourself. This week I'm going to be talking about finding yourself in these strange days, and I'll share some strange days that I've gone through in my life. You've heard me talk about the prophetic word that released us from the little Assembly of God church that launched us out into the evangelistic ministry. I'd like to tell you that it was a straight shot from the prophetic word to preaching in the largest churches in America, but it was not. Because as I've discovered, and I trust that you have too, life is seldom a straight shot from where you are to where you want to be. Most of the time, there's a detour. There was a little detour in McKinney, Texas. I couldn't book any meetings, and I really wanted to have a church. So we went to McKinney, Texas for some reason or another, started driving around, and I found a little dilapidated, unfinished church on a side street with a mud parking lot. Literally, the parking lot was bare dirt, and when it rained, it just puddled up and turned into mud. I found out who was the pastor of the church, knowing they probably needed some help, and I discovered that it was an older man, diabetic. He wasn't able to do much, had 10 people in the church, and he was looking for a successor. At least that's what he said. He was looking for a successor. And I said, yea, verily, I am the man. We came to an agreement that we were going to try it for 3 months and see what happened. We borrowed a little bit of money on the church building, put in a shingle parking lot. That's something they did down south back in those days. Just strips of shingle out on the parking lot, spread around, packed down, made a decent little parking lot. We finished the outside of the church building, painted it up, bricked it up in the front, made it look good, did all the work myself with my little brother-in-law's help. Started knocking on doors. And within 3 months' time, we'd gone from 10 people to 70 people. And for the first time in the history of that church, over a 21-year-old church, it was paying the pastor a magnificent salary. I was the pastor. The salary was about $100 a week, and I thought that was really great. 3 months came by. We met to talk about the future of the church, and the man said, you know, the Lord's been speaking to me, and I really feel like I'm supposed to take the church back over. I found out later he'd done that more than one time, turned it over to a younger man who built up the congregation, and then when the congregation was built up, he always took it back. The people in the church said to me, well, let's go across town and start another church. But I just didn't see it. Instead, I did what the Bible said to do. I shook the dust off my feet as I went out the door, and the next Sunday he had 10 people in his church. That left me in a quandary. What am I going to do? And that's how we launched back out onto the evangelistic field. Now, you may be thinking, but you should have started that church in McKinney, Texas. If I had, I'd still be stuck in McKinney, Texas, which, by the way, I understand has grown up to be quite a nice town 40, 50 years later. No, I had this internal compass, this sense of integrity that it just wouldn't be the right thing. That's what everyone else had done. They'd gone across town and started a church, and there are lots of little churches here, there, and everywhere. McKinney, Texas started out that church because someone was disgruntled and split the church. I wasn't going to do that. I had this inner sense of integrity. The scripture tells us that the integrity of the upright will guide them. In strange days, you discover what's really meaningful in life. You discover who you are, what you're really all about. You discover whether you're living a life of integrity based on principle, or whether you're living a life that's just based on what's going on in the world round about you. It's been a long time since McKinney, Texas, and I've discovered that the integrity of the upright still guides them, still brings a sense of stability and strength, even in strange days. And that's my prayer for you this week, that a sense of integrity, a sense of who you are will manifest, that even in these strange days, you'll live a life of stability and strength, that you'll prosper even in difficult times, and you will. I know that you will. That's my prayer for you this week. I'll share some more things along these lines on Wednesday, another strange day story in which I found out something about myself. Well, by the way, we booked some meetings right after that. Things began to open up, but there were a couple more detours along the way. You want to hear about them. This Sunday at Aspire Church, I really have a word from God. This is a message I've preached before, but it will be, of course, the pandemic edition. I'm preaching it because I heard a very strong word in my spirit that this is a message that a lot of people are going to need next Sunday. It's called the Angel of Lost Things. Because as you know, we're in the midst of a very divisive election, and someone's going to feel like they have lost. The Angel of Lost Things. You're going to want to hear this message. And if you've lost something in life, even tangible things, I'll tell you some crazy stories next Sunday about people that invoked the angel of lost things and found things that they had lost that they didn't think they'd ever find again. Everyone's lost something. If you want to get it back, you want to hear the message. You can catch it on the live stream at aspirechurch.tv. Catch it on Facebook at Aspire Church TV. That's Facebook, Aspire Church TV. Live stream aspirechurch.tv, Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock. It's going to be powerful stuff. I'll see you Wednesday. See you Friday with another new video. And of course on Sunday, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman. See you then.